And here comes the most critical moment of the game. Nepo played a big blunder in this position. What Nepo should have done was pawn to g5, defending the pawn. In game 4 of the World Championship, Ding, who was trailing by 1 point, played the English opening c4. Nepo reacted knight f6, knight c3, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and e3. Standard English moves. Now bishop b4, queen c2 defending the knight, and takes. So white has got this nice central mass of pawns and a nice place to develop the bishop to. Pawn d6 and now e4. Castles, bishop e2. Knight h5. So black is heading to the nice f4 square, a good outpost for the knight. But then Ding plays d4, pushing a central majority. Knight f4 and takes. So Ding doesn't mind giving up the bishop for the knight because he's got nice central control. Castles and queen f6. Rook fe1, rook e8, bishop d3, bishop g4, and knight d2. So far the position is pretty standard. White has got a central majority, but black has got active pieces, and ideas of f3 is in the air. Not right now, but pretty soon. E5 is right now a threat, right? So knight a5 was played. If e5 happens, black can just go queen h6. So it is still completely all right. Actually, instead of here, you can even take and bishop h7, just king h8 should be good because now g6 is a threat. So you don't have time to exchange of the extra pawn. You'll have to come back, and then black can just take. So basically, black wins one of the center pawns and white wins one of the king side pawns. So e5 was not really a big threat, which is why knight a5 was played, attacking the c4 pawn and preparing the pawn push c6, controlling the center. So now c5 was played. This is a very nice idea by Ding. You will see why. Because Nepo takes, but now Ding's idea is e5. So Ding has sacrificed a pawn, and in return, he gets two center pawns controlling all the important squares, and they can move forward soon. And after rook d8, here comes c4. So this nice setup of pawns is what got Ding the win. And it's very difficult to make this to break this basically. If you play c6, d6 comes. If you play f6, e6 comes, and white will get a pass pawn. So at the price of a pawn, Ding has managed to get a very comfortable position. And this was required for him in the match because he was behind by 1 point and he plays like a fighter. b6, making space for the knight to move back. h3, bishop h5. Now bishop e4, rerouting the bishop to f3. Rook e7, black is just doubling on the e file to target the pawn on e5. So now Ding has to choose. He can go back to c2, that's one of the most natural moves, but he can also go bishop f3, with the idea that if black goes bishop g6, then comes bishop d1 to come to a4, or even bishop f3, bishop g6, and bishop g4. Sorry, bishop g4. Another nice idea. So here he plays bishop f3. Nepo plays knight b7. Now rook e2. This was a slight mistake by Ding because rook e2 allows f6 and then knight d6. The knight gets in. So instead of that, he should have played bishop takes, queen takes, and then knight f3, defending the pawn and stopping knight d6. So here after rook e2, f6 happened, e6. So you might think, why is black allowing the pass pawn? Because black will get a nice square for the knight. The knight jumps into the game. So he has a nice blockade on the pawns, and the knight jumps in knight d6, rook e1. Ding continues his plan, and here was a slight mistake by Nepo. He takes one step in the wrong direction. So Nepo should have played bishop g6 because now how can white create play by only knight e4? But if knight e4, you can even play bishop takes, takes, and you can never do anything here. This position is totally closed. And black can also play just a waiting move also. Instead of taking, you can keep this lovely knight and black can just play a normal move like f5. And this can be a three result game because now g5 is coming. So f5 is actually a good move for black now. So that is why bishop g6 was important. But instead, Nepo played knight f5, and this gives Ding a slight advantage. Here, actually, to keep the advantage, Ding, the best move here is bishop g4. Very nice move, asking black to take, and then white controls the square, kicking the knight. If knight d6, you can target the f4 pawn. This is one of the ideas. Queen f3, rook e4 is not possible right now, but this pawn is a target. So bishop g4 is a very nice move here for white. What Ding played is also good. Takes, and then he goes for the pawn. He goes for the f4 pawn, a target. And after queen h6, Ding plays queen f3, attacking it twice. And here comes the most critical moment of the game. Nepo played a big blunder in this position. What Nepo should have done was pawn to g5, defending the pawn. Yeah, after g5, black is completely fine because the pawn is defended, and it can also be risky for white soon after queen g6 h5. But Nepo did not play g5. He played knight d4. Can you find out why that is a blunder? Because it's attacking a queen, right? If queen takes pawn, what would happen? This wouldn't be a problem for black because now there is queen takes, rook takes, and then just c6, undermining the pawns. So white gets back the pawn, but material is completely equal. So this was okay for Nepo. But after rook, sorry, let me go back to this position. After knight d4, Nepo missed Ding's next move, which was exchange sacrifice. Takes, and knight b3. If you play c5, sorry, if you play c5, after pawn takes, okay, actually d6 wins. You don't need to take. Taking is also good, but d6 is just winning because if rook takes, then we have rook takes, and then just d7. The pawn can't be stopped because if rook d6, there is queen check, and then white promotes, winning a rook. So there was no defense here because the knight is better than one of the rooks. The rooks are just sitting there stopping this pawn, completely blockaded. Here Nepo played g5 and now takes queen g6, g4. Very nice move, getting the knight to this nice f5 square. Takes, and the knight's anyway landing on f5. Rook moves, but then queen e4, threatening a nice discovered attack. Knight e7. King moves, now e7. So everything is completely defended, and there is not much black can do. Queen f7, now d6. So Ding just converts it smoothly. After takes, the rook is gone. So material wise, it's now equal, like 5 pawns each, but this pawn decides the game, and the unsafe blacking and the passive pieces of black. So now queen e6, trying to play probably queen takes pawn. So black defends it, and now rook f1. Black defends it, and now rook d1. So white basically pushed black's pieces around, and now Ding goes for rook d8. Rook is no longer attacking the pawn. So pawn f5 attacking the queen. Queen check, and then he takes it. Takes with check. And now queen h7 check. King moves. Now queen g7. Another nice move. Not allowing queen takes because of the skewer. G pawn is hanging, so rook g6, and now just queen f8. So in a nice series of queen moves, Ding finishes the game. Nepo resigns because if queen takes, again there's a check and you lose. And if queen moves, it's promotion. So this is how Ding struck back. Ding strikes back with a very nice win. And basically, it's now a tied match after 4 games. There is still 10 more games to go, and it's now a very even match.